Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It is a hashtag Friday Sews kind of day. All right, so first of all, thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag. It's all about the sewing community and finding sewing vloggers, if you will, that are basically all using pretty much the same format. There's not everybody follows the same thing, but essentially they tell you what they've worked on the past week, what they have coming up, and a little bit about their lives. So if that sounds interesting to you, you should check out the Friday Sews hashtag in the search bar on YouTube. You'll find a lot of cool people. All right, so what have I been working on this week? The first thing that I made this week, I don't know if this is in the right order, but this is the way I'm talking about it. So I'm the one that started the hashtag, the challenge, the Sew My Birthday challenge, and it took me until the end of the month to make my dress. And that is because the pattern that I ordered, I downloaded, and apparently I downloaded the A4 version, the print at home version. It's supposedly available in the AO, but I didn't either download that one or I don't know what happened, but I'm not a huge fan of piecing patterns together. Like, I don't enjoy it. So I just kept putting it off. I finally did that earlier in the week and I made my dress. I'll insert some video here or maybe a picture of me wearing it. But basically it's just, well, this is the fabric. You're not gonna be able to see the dress from here. But how cute is that fabric? So we're talking about 1966 here, if I hadn't already mentioned that. And the whole idea behind the Sew My Birthday challenge, it was just a challenge for fun. There are no prizes involved, but I just thought it would be fun to sew a pattern from the year that I was born. Now, this specific pattern is not from the year that I was born, but it is inspired by fashion that was huge the year I was born. And this pattern easily could have come from 1966. I mean, it's just an A-line shift dress. And that was everywhere in the mid-60s. So originally I had posted a couple of inspiration shots. I had posted the YSL Mondrian dress, which is super cool. I had posted a picture that was from Mary Quant that she had, put on Twiggy. And essentially they were both A-line, sleeveless A-line dresses. So I found a sleeveless A-line dress and I decided to just use fabric from my stash rather than trying to replicate either of those looks specifically. So I had this fabric that I had bought from fabricmart.com many months ago. And I thought it was pretty representative of the time. It's just bright and bold. It's got this lime green background and this hot pink damask, is that how you say it? Damask type print on it. And I think it came out cute. So yeah, it's got bust darts in it. The pattern company name, I'm gonna not say this right, Golden Book. I'll put a link in the description box, but they're very size inclusive. I will tell you that. This particular pattern, I don't know if this is true for all of their patterns, but this particular pattern came in 2 size ranges, extra small to extra large and 1X to 5XL. I ended up making the 3XL. So, and I will find the size chart and insert it here just so that you can see what the size range is. But yeah, pretty size inclusive. I'm gonna do a full review. It won't take that long. It's because it is so simple. I'm gonna do a full review because there were a couple of things that I had issues with the pattern. It should have been more simple than it ended up being. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I will wear that with probably, sneakers and things like, I won't style it in the 60s way. I'll style it a little more modernly, but yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, so the next thing that I made, remember last week I showed you my Sinclair poppy pants that I had made using the tie-dye fabric that I had made several weeks ago. I still love this fabric. Oh my gosh, it makes me so happy. I mean, just look at everywhere you look, there's something new that's just tantalizing. And you can see I wore these because they're very wrinkly. So last week I showed them with like a mustardy yellow ready-to-wear top that I think I got from from the Loft, which I think that went well with the pants. I like the contrast, but I also wanted to make a Concord tee to go with them, which I did, and I made it in this really great, like bright blue, turquoisey kind of blue, double brush poly that I got from Joann's. When I was editing last week's Friday Sews, and I had said in the video that I was gonna link the review to the Concord tee, I discovered I never did a full review. I think I mentioned it in a Friday Sews. So what I've done is I have filmed a full review on the combination of these two. So I have the Concord tee and the Poppy Pants review filmed together, and that will be coming up in September. But look how well this goes together. Just as well as I thought it would. I'll post some pics here of me wearing them together. And I'll tell you, I'm not thrilled with the fit of this tee. It's a little too snug in the middle, and I get more into that in the review, so I'm not going to get into it too much here. And then as far as the length goes, I don't like the length of this with those pants. I do like the length of it with a pair of jeans. But because I'm not gonna wear this out in public, I'm just gonna wear it as pajamas. I'm gonna cut the length off and make it shorter and just do a straight hem, because I did make the curved hem short sleeve scoop neck view. And the curved hem, the length of the curved hem view is too long to wear with those pants. I just don't like it. So I made the Concord tee, and then I finished my fabulous abacus shawl. I cannot even begin to tell you guys how much I love this thing. So I know I live in Miami, and you would think that this isn't gonna be necessary here, but it's actually it's lightweight enough that I think I'll get some use out of this. Plus, it's just so gorgeous, if I do say so myself, that I'm gonna wear it. So, all right, so I made my tassels. I love them. There's 3 tassels, and they're attached to the ends and the apex in the middle. Then there's the Madeline Tosh Flash Dance Tosh Merino Light is the yarn. And then that's mixed with the Cascade 220 fingering yarn, the lime green, and then the lime green is mixed with the Acid Veil Dye Works. The colorway is called Novocaine for the Soul. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore, but I just love like the multi-color of it. And then that's mixed with the purple. Then the purple is mixed with the green again. So remember last week I told you that they were both the same colorways, but the opposite pattern. So you can see there. And then it's finished off with the lime green. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna insert a picture of me wearing it here because I'm not gonna be able to, I like wearing it this way just because all the tassels. Is my fabulous abacus. It's gonna get a lot of wear even here in Miami. Okay, I'm gonna I know like 99% of what I talk about is sewing, but I am gonna do a review on this because I enjoyed it. And I think there's enough sewers out there that also knit that you might find it useful. All right, so then that's kind of it for what I finished this week. Now, what am I working on? So I have started, if you recall last week, I showed a video of the chaos that is my sewing room. I have started working on that. So I got all of my fabric gathered from all over the place. You know, it was laying on the floor in my sewing room. It was on the table. It was out here in the kitchen or in the dining room on the dining room table. I've gathered it all up, folded it all up. So I've got it sorted only by knit versus woven. I don't have it sorted within those categories by fabric type, but knit versus woven is good. And I've got them all folded nice and neat. I'll pop a picture in up here, and that makes me very happy. I can see everything, and what I would like to do, once I finish getting my sewing room completely organized, I really want to go through my fabric, figure out the yardage that I have for each, and if possible, if I can go through like all of my invoices, like, because I've bought 99% of it, yeah, probably 99% of it online. So if I can go through like invoices and stuff and figure out what the fabric type is, I think I want to put like tags on everything so that I know what I have in my stash. Then what I started next is organizing my yarn stash. And I got rid of 3 boxes of yarn that were excess. Well, some of my excess, but it's yarn that I'm not going to use. It's more inexpensive yarn. It's not bad yarn. It's just inexpensive. And I have become a yarn snob, and I really like nicer yarn. So I donated my less expensive yarn to my little, I call her little, my little cousin who's, I mean, she's over 30, but she crochets and she does these really cute like bucket hats and character, like animal, like she loves to crochet. So I figured she could use it, and whatever she couldn't use, then she can donate it. I think she, you know, she teaches in a high school, so maybe there's, you know, people there that can use it, or maybe, I don't know. If she can't use it, she'll find a way, because she's a very sustainable person. So she won't just throw it away. So what I've done with what I kept is I sorted it by yarn weight, or I'm in the process. I'm not finished yet. So I've got a chart that I printed out, because what I found is that because I've bought a lot of indie dyed yarn, they don't always use the like universal yarn weight codes. If you're not familiar with that, the yarn weight codes are like from, I don't know, 0 to 7, I think. 0 being the finest and 7 being the bulkiest. So they don't always do that. So I've printed out a chart that tells me like what each of those are in terms of stitches per 4 inches. So that I can look at the labels that tell me, you know, what the stitch gauge is, so that I can sort them in the right yarn weight. So I'm in the middle of doing that. I'm a little more than halfway done with that. And once I get all that put away, then the rest of the room hopefully will come together pretty quickly. I did order a couple of things from Amazon to help me get some things organized. So once I get all that done, then I'll do the sewing room tour. I've been binge watching sewing room tours and getting some cool ideas. Like, people are very creative and very inventive when it comes to how to organize their sewing rooms. So I'm excited about that. All right, so the next thing that I'm working on, and it's in the middle of processing right now, is I had bought, I think I told you guys about this before, on Amazon, you can, sorry, my table's wobbling. On Amazon, you can buy 100% cotton sheeting fabric by the yard. I bought 10 yards. It's $4.58 a yard, so it's really inexpensive. And once you wash it up, like, it's good for garments. That's what I used to make my, well, this one, obviously, this fabric was from Joann's. Remember, I told you guys about it. This is the one of my Nova midi dresses, but with my dyed sheeting fabric, I made a Nova midi dress with my ice dye that I made, you know, in those like really like hot pink and purpley kind of colors. So anyway, I bought some more of that fabric and I bought 10 yards of it. And the thought was that I would just use it for tie-dye projects that I would then obviously use to make garments. But I took 1 yard of it and I cut it up in smaller pieces because what I wanted to do was swatch all of the dyes that I have so that I can, for two reasons. One, I wanted to show you guys when you tie-dye a single color, which ones kind of do that split thing that I told you about, how it'll split into other colors besides the color that you think it is. So that happens when you ice dye versus if you just do the liquid dye, it's just going to be the solid color. So I have all of that processing right now. The second reason I did it is so that I have the swatches so that when I'm ready to do a tie-dye project, it'll be easier for me to like figure out what colors I want to go together. So I'll pop a picture up here right now. I've kind of I have 17 colors that I needed to dye. And so what I did was I took sheets that were, I don't know, about this long, and I folded them in half, and then I did that scrunchy pattern, and then just wrapped a rubber band around them and did one single color on each one. I put the dye number in a Sharpie in the upper right-hand corner so that I knew which color it was. And so once those finish processing, I'll rinse them, I'll wash them out, dry them, and then I'll share a picture of those with you guys next week. All right. The next thing that I'm working on is a sewing project it's a project that is going to be hosted by Mari from Mari Sews for the month of September, and she'll be posting her reveal on that coming up soon. So if you're not already watching her, which I'm sure that you are, she's fantastic, then I'll link her below and you can go and subscribe to her so that you're informed when that project gets started. And she'll tell you how you can participate if you so choose. The next thing that I'm working on is a collaboration with Yvette from Blossom Sandwich. So I'm just going to give you a little teaser about that. Our reveal date, so our project's going to be done early September, so you don't have too much longer to wait. We're going to reveal the concept on September 1st, and then I think our final reveal is the following week on September 8th. So I'll be sewing that up this coming week in preparation for that. Okay, so here's my big project for September. You guys are gonna think I'm a little nutso, but so my day job is basically, I do analytics and forecasting. I've worked in corporate retail my whole career, and I analyze business trends and basically figure out what's working, what's not working, and I make recommendations on how to maximize the things that are working, how to minimize the risk for the things that aren't working, and that I use that information to help inform future forecasts and what we should be buying into, what we should kind of stay away from, those types of things. So I figured I would take that concept to my channel. So what I'm gonna do for the month of September is I'm gonna run a test. This will not be a go forward strategy. I'm using it to learn, but I am going to film videos. I'm going to post videos for all 30 days of the month of September. I can't believe I just said that out loud. So and my goal with that, I'm going to be posting a lot of different types of videos. So concept videos, makes, reviews, challenges. Like I've got a lot of different ideas, and my goal is to figure out which types of videos resonate and which ones just don't work at all. And I'm going to use that to help inform future videos. Now, the thing is, I'm not doing this to make money, obviously. I'm doing this for fun. So I'm not going to be posting any videos that are anything that I don't enjoy doing. It's all going to be stuff that I like. So if I like it and then you guys like it, then that's a win. If I like it and you guys don't like it, I'll probably just pull back on some of those types, and I'll probably still do them because I like it, but they won't be as prominent if they were before, if that makes sense. So it's going to be fun. I am going to spend the next week and a half, I guess, doing a lot of pre-filming. I've already started so that I can get ahead of the game and have enough content for at least the first half of the month. And then I'll, probably spend a weekend doing a lot of filming for the second half. But I've got it all planned out. So I'm being very planful and organized about it, which is, I'm very good about being planful and organized at work. In my personal life, I don't do that as much. I much more prefer to fly by the seat of my pants. So this will be a very interesting exercise, and I'm eager to figure out what I'm going to learn from it. I'm a geek for data analytics. So that will be a lot of fun. And I hope that you'll follow along. So, and be excited about it. All right. So then the next thing that I have coming up, and this one, I couldn't decide if this was sewing or life. And then I decided it's both. So it'll bridge the gap between what I'm working on and life. But next weekend, I have the most fun weekend that is planned. I am doing a SEWCATION with some of my sewing buddies that I've met here through YouTube and Instagram. Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, who started the whole Friday Sews hashtag, Carmen from Carmen Salome, Mari from Mari Sews, and Heather from Textile Tailored Thoughts, and I are all getting together next weekend for a SEWCATION, and I'm so excited. They are coming down here to South Florida, and we are going to hang out all weekend, and we're going to do some, we've got some things planned. We're going to do some fabric shopping, of course, and then some other activities that we have planned. And we'll probably all share it with you guys along the way. So if you're not following all of those ladies, then first of all, you should be. Second of all, you probably already are. And follow me on Instagram, because I post updates on Instagram a lot more often than I do on YouTube. So that'll, if you're interested, there'll be a lot of posts on Instagram just from, snapshots and things like that from our days. And I'm so excited about it. I can't wait. I've mentioned before, I don't have anybody in my real life that sews, that I can talk to about this stuff that I love so much. So I'm just excited to be in person with people that love sewing as much as I do, and that I can learn from, because they're all, much more accomplished sewers than I am. So I'm very excited about it. And I hope that you'll follow along with us. All right. So then my very last thing is, last week I had mentioned that I expected to have an update on something that's in the works for my personal life. I don't have that update yet. I've been sitting on pins and needles waiting for the update, and it hasn't come yet. I'm fingers crossed that it will come today. And if so, then I will share that with you guys next week. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, because I'm gonna be on my SEWCATION next week, I'm gonna have to pre-film my Friday sews. So I'll probably do that Thursday morning. So it won't be too out of date. And I'll be able to share, hopefully, this update with you guys then. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot to tell you about one of the things I'm working on. After I finished my fabulous abacus, I decided I wanted another sewing project, and I have knitting. I have 2 knitting projects on my Make Nines plan for 2021. And I had started the summer sweater, and remember, I decided that I wasn't going to make that after I got like a little more than halfway done with the front piece. I wasn't feeling it. So I still need to figure out what summer knit top I want to make. Of course, well, I mean, summer's almost over technically, but it's not really over here where I live. So I can still do something with that. But why do I keep saying that? I started knitting a pair of socks because socks is on my make 9. So this is how far I've gotten. I am following a tutorial from, shoot, what is her name? I'll pop it up here. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now, but she has a really good step-by-step tutorial for very basic socks on her channel. And so you follow along and she tells you when to pause and, how to finish, and then what to do with the next step. So I'm following along with her, and I'm using this yarn that I got from the Knitting Garden down in Coral Gables. Yeah, I think that's right. And it is this really pretty self-striping yarn. It came in a kit. So this is the kit. It's a hand-dyed self-striping matching sock kit. There are free patterns online, but I decided just to go with one that I could, that I could follow. But this is what, I'm not doing a full length sock like this. I'm going to do one that's like this length. So this is the yarn, and what it's going to look like. And there's 2 skeins. I've got one that I'm working out of, and then there's another one in the box. And you can see here's all the pretty gorgeous colors. And I'm using the magic loop method, which, to be honest, it's taken me a minute to get used to it, and I don't love it. Hopefully by the time I'm done, I'll get more used to it and I won't feel the same way. But they're very tiny needles. So it takes longer to knit very tiny needles. Anyway, so that's it for me. Do you have any thoughts on any of the things that I've made? Do you have any thoughts on the things that I have coming up? I would love to hear. Please comment in the comment box. I love to participate with you guys in the comment box. And wherever you are, I hope that the weather is fantastic, and I hope you're able to get some sewing in. And I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye.